Hey everybody, hopefully you all are doing well and you find this video helpful today. I wanted to take a second to do a couple of things. One of them is talk to you about seesaw, which is going to be another way of showing your learning. Second is read the article, lesson 97 for you guys, so that you can just get a good understanding of what the article is saying and what it's asking you to do. So you can read it yourself or you can watch me read it or listen to me read it, and just kind of talk about some of the content leading up till now. We've been talking about the North and the South in the United States leading up to the Civil War, and what's the breakdown and why are we leading into a separation? Why is the unit called a nation divided? And how did we get to fighting each other? And last time we talked about slavery as being a component of it, but also the economic differences. So let's just rehash. Let's think real quick about the North and the South in the United States. From the 13 original colonies, we had very distinct differences in where the settlers, what they found when they got to America. The people that settled in the New England colonies, if you remember, they found that thin, rocky soil, and it wasn't really good for planting anything. And the people that settled in the South, the southern part of the United States, and those colonies, they found that it was really good for growing crops. So that distinction right there should let you guys just in on the big, obvious economic differences. The original economy of the northern colonies was shipbuilding and trade, and industry, if you will. And as it progressed, and as it still is now, in this discussion of Civil War times, we have industry as being the main economy, as being the main source of income. And in the South, we have the cash crops as being the main source of income. So with that said, we have in the North the diverse economy that's based on industry, and then in the South we have the economy that's not diverse, based on agriculture. So the South, its economy is very, and when I say not diverse, it means it's very dependent on its agricultural for making the money, and for keeping the economy going. And when I say diverse in the North, I'm saying that they're more flexible. They do some agriculture. They do some, trading. They do manufacturing and industry, which they have a little bit of buoyancy. So they're like more like a beach ball, if you will. They can squeeze and flex and mend before they pop. And the economy of the South is like, like the clown making the balloon stuff, the balloon animals. Those balloons feel like they're going to pop at any second. Also in the North, you have large cities, and that are growing at a very fast rate, with immigration. So during this time, you're having a lot of people come into America. Oh, sorry, I didn't mute my phone. You have a lot of people coming into America during this time, for industry and for jobs and opportunities. And in the South, you have little to no immigration. I don't say none at all, but it's few. So that's another difference. In the North, they favor the federal spending. They favor the tariffs, the taxes, that the federal government's putting on the United States, because they want these internal improvements. So they're willing to spend extra tax dollars to get a stronger central government. And in the South, they're opposing it. They're like, no, we're pretty much just wanting states' rights. And then in the North, if you're thinking about the slavery component, the North is for free labor. They're against slavery. They want people to have the right to work and where to work and what they choose to work with. And in the South, they're dependent heavily on slave labor. So let me share my screen with you guys and get this article up. Okay, so it looks like sorry about that. I think you should be able to see my screen now. Okay. So this right here is the seesaw. And in the Google Classroom, there's going to be a link to the seesaw, and it's going to take you to here. This says differences and similarities between the North and South. Um, and you're going to click on the add response. Um, and this, I mean, let's just say I was the sample student. So I'm going to click on the T, and um, and I'm going to wait, yeah. Uh, sorry, this is like the teacher view. So it looks weird, but anyways, so when you open up the response, you're gonna get to drag and drop these um, little items here. So let's see, that's got a typo on it. I didn't make this. I'm reusing it. So sold goods to other areas of the USA. Um, I'd say I'm going to say South only. Relied on slave labor, North only. Okay. Industry was South only. These are not the answers, by the way. But as you can see, I'm going through here and I'm making my responses. And when my responses are done, I'm going to hit um, the green check. If at any time I want to review the instructions to see what it said, I can go there and review the instructions. If I want to save my draft, I can click there and save my draft. So just take a second after well, you would already be watching this video. So after you watch this video, you're going to do the seesaw activity. You can choose to read the less than 97 page if you want to first, but that's the seesaw activity. Tariffs and states' rights. Tariffs are taxes that the government places on imported goods. Tariff encourages people to buy goods that are manufactured in their own country instead of those made somewhere else. Tariffs help the businesses in a country prosper. In the early 1800s, Congress passed a series of tariffs intended to strengthen the country's economy. So Congress passed these tariffs or taxes on imported goods from other countries. Okay, um, and they wanted to do so that the northern states would make money, and the government in its entirety would prosper. So many northern states approved of these tariffs because manufactured goods were an important part of the northern economy. The tariffs helped the northern states. The southern states did not approve of the tariffs. Since agriculture was their main economy, the tariffs did not help them. When tariffs were placed by the United States on other countries' imports, that country often placed tariffs on goods that they imported from the United States. So it's like, you tax us, we'll tax you. This made it more difficult for southern states to sell their cotton. A southern politician named John Calhoun felt that the states should be allowed to ignore the tariff. He believed that states' rights were more important than the federal government. He claimed that state governments should have the final say in how they are governed. To Southerners, the tariff showed that the federal government favored northern states. They were concerned that their interests and needs were not being protected. As a result, they felt a stronger loyalty to their state and to the South than they felt for the federal government. This sectionalism was evidence that the North and the South were going further apart. So, question number one. And again, you're going to open the Google Doc that's titled Answers to Lesson 97. And so, question number one. What is the main idea of this passage? Read through the choices here and choose what you feel is the best to summarize the main idea of this passage. Is that tariffs that were tariffs that were passed by Congress to strengthen the country's economy were viewed favorably by the North, but not the South? Is that a tariff encourages people to buy goods manufactured in their own country rather than those made somewhere else? Is it John Calhoun felt states' rights were more important than the federal government? Or is it sectionalism was evidence that the North and South were growing apart? Again, these aren't saying, like the question here isn't which one is true. It's saying which one is the main idea of this passage. And then question number 2 through 4, you'll number this one 2, this one 3, and this one 4. Tariffs favored the industrialized North because tariffs made purchasing goods made in the North less expensive than imported goods. You write true or false if you believe that's true or false. Um, you can read the other choices. And then question 5 through 8, here's question 5. By 2008, hybrid cars accounted for blank percent of New York City cabs. Here's questions 6, 7, and 8. And all of these questions are focused around this chart here and the prompt that in 2005, New York City proposed that all taxi cabs be hybrid vehicles. A hybrid is a vehicle that runs on both gas and electric power. The chart below shows New York City's progress towards that goal. So again, use this chart over here to answer 5 through 8. Number 9 is drawn back. And I know it says lesson 41 here, but for us, this is the Road to the Revolutionary War unit. Why were the colonists so unhappy with the British Parliament after the French and Indian War? So you have to think about the cause and effect that we labeled for the French and Indian War leading up to, oh, sorry, I always run my hand into stuff because I use my hands when I talk. So you have to think about cause and effect from French and Indian War to blank. Then from that leading into its next event. And if you can remember, I said, and probably Mrs. Butler said the same, that wars cost money. And when governments are in debt, they have to get their money from the people. So that's probably a really big hint as to what that answer is on number 9. And then number 10, which word means about the same as finding a middle ground? And then if I do stop share, it should bring me back here. And there we go. So again, your instructions are to watch the video first, then to do the seesaw, then to read the article and answer the article questions on the Google Doc. And then there's another activity for you guys if you want to. I'm going to make this an assignment on Thursday, but you're more than welcome to preview it today. It's a Google Earth scavenger hunt for the Civil War, and it's really fun. I did it myself, and I actually enjoyed it. Not that I don't enjoy these other activities. It's just sometimes it's fun to do some fun interactive technology because all we're doing now is technology stuff. So hopefully you guys found this as helpful. Hopefully you all are able to do your work as you feel that you're comfortable with the content. If you have any questions with the content or with this material, you can hop on the Zoom. I'll be open from 10 to 11, and you can ask me questions. But again, just know that we're building up a unit here as best as we can via this e-learning. So guys, have fun and learn something today, okay?